show. Happy International Women's Day. Now, as I stated at the beginning of the year, 2019 is definitely going to be the year for me and what I need. And making this video is definitely something that I need. Something is going on with women, and I'm going to tell you in hopes that you will spread the secret, so to speak. Now, since the beginning of time, women and men have been at odds with each other, but the biggest fight of them all is among women. Now, I'm sure you might be asking yourself, what the fuck is she talking about? Girl, you know you be hating on other women. It could be over something, over like a guy that you mutually like, or maybe it's jealousy. Maybe she's got more money than you, or she doesn't have enough money. Perhaps you just have an overall dislike of the chick. Whatever the reason, women have a history of being nasty to each other. I am more than guilty of doing this in my younger years. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I am a filthy fucking nasty woman. But in my 30s, I definitely came to a realization about myself. I was still insecure with who I was as a person and as a woman. So when I found my confidence, I became a real woman and took responsibility for my failures in life. It wasn't her fault that my boyfriend cheated on me when I was younger. It was his. It wasn't her fault that she's hot and has a lot of people flocking to her. I'm not hot and I'm jealous. It's absolutely not her fault if she has a lot of money or a lot of cars and clothes. I'm a poor bitch. So instead of hating on these women I decided that I was going to sit down, have a conversation with them. And I have to say, I love doing that. I compliment them on the qualities that they possess that I admire. I place myself in another woman's shoes the way that I do with the main character in a book that I am so loving. Now, all the nastiness towards another female has just died inside of me. I mean, why be nasty to another woman who's simply trying to survive in this world just like I am? And I'm not the only one who thinks this way. I'm seeing it everywhere, from the grocery store to social media. I mean, those nasty days are starting to come to an end. And women are supporting one another. We're not allowing men or another person to influence our decisions or our lives anymore. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Countless women have dedicated their lives. I mean, shit, they've even given their lives in pursuit of equal rights and have made great strides for women. It is them that we honor this day. And I like to think of the older generation as the wiser generation, the pioneers who dedicated their lives to be seen as something other than a silly girl, an easy target, someone to serve a man. And now it's all finally coming to fruition. The Me2 movement, the millions of women who marched nationally, I mean, all of it are examples of the female race uniting. And you can honestly see it happening in the movies, on television, and books. And now you do hear the female celebrities like Lindsay Lohan, Rihanna, they're saying it all the time. Women are banding together and we're taking over the world. And I can already see the comments now in this video. No, you're not banding together. Women aren't going anywhere other than the kitchen to make me a sandwich. I mean, my response to that is, yeah, we are banding together. And it's okay. As long as you believe it's not true, that's great. And we're working on making this, though, a global thing. Hence this video. Now, if you're watching this video because you have the I hate women, I hate men mentality, I mean, that's okay. We all have to start from somewhere, and I don't hate you. I just encourage you to open your mind to acceptance. I mean, I get too that you don't have to do anything that I suggest, but it is called evolution, baby. Get with it. Now, the best way to describe the current relationship between women is this. We are now like a flock of birds, a school of fish, a clouder of cats. We're watching each other's backs and we're protecting one another. It's like women have almost achieved a true sense of sisterhood. Now, I like to think of this as true feminism, where women support each other and men. I mean, I personally believe that the real feminist message was lost along the way while we defended ourselves against those who won't relinquish their brutal power without a fight. And I'm just going to say it now very quickly. Let me just throw this shit out of the way. No woman wants to have an abortion. And believing that any single woman would use it as a birth control method is utterly asinine. The decision of an abortion should be between a woman, a man, and the doctor. And that's it. And fuck you and your notion of what I should do with my body when men literally can abandon their children without consequences or repercussions from anyone, let alone a court of law. Politicians have absolutely no right to tell their constituents what to do with their bodies based on their personal religious beliefs. It's called separation of church and state. And it's hella sad that we have to send our representatives that we elect back to high school to be basic learning bitches. Can I get an amen when I say I miss you, President Obama? I have to say that women, we're embracing each other. We're supporting each other. Our physical and our mental imperfections, we're not pointing them out. There's no such thing as a perfect body or a perfect woman. And I think we've also finally embraced that we come in many different perfect little packages and we're all pleasant and we don't need to judge each other. One important thing is that we are listening to each other. And I think the best example of this is like the Me2 movement, the removal of various political and entertainment people who are being held responsible for their actions, the millions of women who have marched nationally in protest for their right to make decisions to their own body, for equal pay, fair treatment. I mean, the list goes on. But again, we're listening to one another. We don't have to worry about what our partner's going to think or what our family will think or say. We can speak up and find solace in the support that we give one another. Now, currently, of course, plenty of men make the laws, and they tell you if you can work, vote, serve in the military, abortion's wrong. They refuse to define rape or even hold men or women responsible for doing it, and God fucking forbid if you're gay or you want to change your gender. Essentially, our lives are dictated by rules made from closed-minded men. Now, mind you, of course, some of those men are absolutely paragons, true pioneers for this country, and there is absolutely no doubt about that. Now, however, much like the female gender, the males do have those who give them a bad name. And rather than silence those who give men a bad name, like women are imprisoned, basically squashed or murdered into silence, the guys, they're allowed to speak. I mean, shit, they could hold high positions of power. They're given high and vast platforms in which to speak and spread their hatred. So what will happen to those men if women come together and dominated the world with our numbers and our sisterly attitude? What happens if we no longer fought amongst each other? What if we got along, embraced each other, and landed our boat right on the land of politics? Now, I'm sure the very thought of that makes many shudder, and I love it. Now, it is a sad biological fact that men are constantly struggling for position as alpha. And where there's always a constant struggle for power, there's always turmoil. Not too much for women. I mean, we don't give a shit. We feel like there's space for everyone. And as long as our leader carries our message and represents our gender with respect, we don't care who speaks for us. Men can't even take a fucking Gillette commercial asking them to be better men. I mean, that stirred a shitstorm of piss and vinegar from the very gender that the ad was aimed at. And that was less than a 3-minute commercial. When women get angry, it's normally because, we hate the way we're being portrayed or treated, excuse me. Now, women, we're actually getting it together. And I know that I'll get hateful comments about women in the comment section, but Those comments and thoughts are the prime example of what I'm talking about in this video. It takes so much energy to hate someone, and it's terrible for your soul. And it takes absolutely no energy to spread positivity and love. And it's so much better for your soul, guys. Channel your energy into something better. And don't get me wrong, there are so many wonderful men out there. And this video is certainly not aimed to be negative towards men. Statistics from the Bureau of Justice and the FBI report crimes by men are at an all-time low, basically by half. I mean, men are basically on the cusp of evolution just like women. It just might take them a little longer to get there. Much more longer. Anyway, guys, you're doing a great job setting a positive example. Keep it up. And ultimately, we are all living in the same world, and there's absolutely no need for one gender to feel superior. We should all help one another and have each other's backs. Now, in the world that I live in, that I surround myself in, we do. So I'm hoping to spread this positive message to anybody who watches the video. Now today, instead of shouting out to my patrons, I'd like to give a special shout out to every woman in the world, especially my two beautiful daughters, my grandmothers who are no longer with me, my incredible mother, Linda, my kick-ass mother-in-law, Gloria, and my best friend, Britt. You are all incredible women, and we salute all of you. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Now check out my other videos while you're moseying around my channel. I'm sure I have some that you'll love. Now have a great day celebrating the women in your life, especially sexy Scathach, guys. But you should still beware of her ass because the OG Supreme doesn't have one fuck to spare when it comes to sisterly solidarity. She'll enchant and sleep with your man the moment your ass goes to work. Bye, guys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now that the rest of the people are gone, let's get some fucking real shit right now. And I don't give a shit if it gets me demonetized.